What up? Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today we review the BMW 2 Series Gran Coupe. So what do you think of the looks? I've asked a few people and it's not universally hated. Some people are on one side of the fence completely, others the far side, a few in the middle. Please do let us know what you think in the comments. Now today we are dealing with the Sportline model, which is kind of entry level. So it's only got 17-inch alloys and they really don't do it any favors at all. I am a big fan of the whole Gran Coupe look. I think it can look really well if it's something like the previous generation 6 Series, the current 8 Series, where it's long, low, stretched, sleek, and it just suits that style. This, on the other hand, is just a bit too stubby, a bit too high, especially at the back. It's very high, and there's something in there. Because like a Merc CLA is very good looking, so you can use those shorter dimensions to stretch it out and make it look good. I don't think it quite works on this, but there's something in there that eventually might come out, like a swan blossoming into a prettier swan. Like even BMW are aware of how polarizing these looks are. In their press stuff they say it's not elegant but extravagant, not conventional but individual, not ordinary but extraordinary. Sure, let's find out. So we'll start with the boot as always, and it is actually a saloon type opening, not a hatch, and you get 430 litres of space, which is 50 more than the 1 Series hatch on which the 2 Series Gran Coupe is based. That obviously doesn't tell the full story because the hatch will open way up, and this is quite a tight opening for larger items. There are a few nice little features though, just to help you along your way. There are two little levers here and here, and you can actually drop the seats down. I'm going to reach in and do that. Oh yeah, butt shot for the subscribers. There we go, easy. It's a decent space, but it is quite thin, so just be aware of that if you are thinking of buying one. Next, the floor can be sort of lifted up like this, but then it blocks the seats again. So I don't know, you get a bit more space then. The floor is obviously deeper. There's some nets here and a 12-volt charger. Oh, before we leave the back, we have to give kudos to the two real exhausts. Gold Star BMW, no hidden awnings. Right, so hear me out in this one. Whenever I hear Gran Coupe, I think, yeah, that's because it's for your Gran, because there's 4 doors, so it's easier to get in and out of the back in comparison to a more conventional coupe. But I don't know how happy your granny would be back here. It's tight enough. In terms of headroom, I'm not great. I'm 6 foot and that's just planted into the roof if I sit back, so I'm kind of hunching. Legroom isn't too bad. You know, like I'm not overly squished, but my feet are kind of pushed up against the seat in front. One thing I don't like is the seatbelt setup. It has, for the middle passenger, it has the one that comes out of the back and then you clip it in here and then clip it across. Not a fan of that. And then the person on this side is actually sitting on top of it, which can't be very comfortable. There's also a cup holder set up here with a violent opening. Boom, open. And a ski or lengths of timber hatch that might be more accurate here in Ireland. Although I don't know how many 2 Series Gran Coupe drivers are buying lengths of timber. Anyway, moving on, for comfort features you get 2 USB-C ports down here, not standard USB, and some nets and lights and spinny hooks. Like, it's not bad. I wouldn't hate it, but it's not the most ideal, and despite the name, your granny will not be happy. Let's go into the front. Moving on to the front. Now, I do like the old frameless doors. They are very sexy. Well, they're great until some close them with their hands on the window instead of the door. and that will just break your heart every single time. Starting prices for the 2 Series Gran Coupe are about €35,000 and today's test car is about 44. If you'd like to search for some 2 Series Gran Coupe on Cars Ireland, please do click on the link above. See, that was seamless segue to please the masters who actually pay me. Good. As I said at the start of the video, this is the Sportline model. So there's some nice little touches like cruise control, nice touchscreen up here in front, parking sensors, dual zone climate control, but there is no reversing camera, which is a bit stingy for what is quite a pricey car. Today's test car is fitted with some excellent sport seats that are kind of half fabric, half leather, and have some nice orange accents running down the middle and the sides. Really nice looking actually. And they're very comfortable. I did 600 or 700 kilometers on Tuesday of this week and I had no back pain, no leg pain. Great seats. And they have a nice little feature where you can dictate how much pressure the side bolsters put on you. So you press the button and it pinches in, and then you press the other button and it lets itself out. So if you're after a nice hug, these seats are ideal. Plus we have heated seats because we have the comfort package, so you can stick on your heated seats, hug yourself, and no one else has to annoy you. Your car can keep you happy. Aww. If you have sat in any more modern BMWs, all the rest will be very recognizable. One thing to keep in mind is I don't think the infotainment is integrated with Android Auto yet, so keep that in mind if you are an Android person. That sounds like a contradiction. An Android person. A paranoid Android. Screen is nice, not too big, not too small. It's a Goldilocks rule. And the dash in front is fine, not very inspiring, but does the job and has nice round dials and it makes sense and you can control it from the steering wheel. In terms of practicality, you're pretty well covered as well. Cup holders here and in the door bins, decent space in the armrest, and USB standard up here and USB-C in the armrest. Some of the materials are a bit cheaper in certain areas that like you don't really touch. This is a bit creaky. This is nice and soft, but like, come on, the stuff you touch is good. And I actually prefer this steering wheel to the M Sport. It's not as visually pleasing, but it's thinner and easier to use, if that makes sense. It's not, the M Sport steering wheels are very thick and you know, you really need to wrap your hands around them. If you're smaller, that might be an issue. Otherwise, no major complaints. Very nice, very comfortable, and as I said, these seats are brilliant. And with the magic of editing, we are now driving the 2 Series Gran Coupe. So today we are testing the 220d, a 2-litre 4-cylinder turbo diesel with 190 horsepower and 400 newton meters of torque, and it will do 0 to 100 kilometers an hour in 7.7 seconds. So all very impressive figures, to be fair. And all of that is paired with an 8-speed auto gearbox here, a sport auto as BMW refers to it. Now that engine and gearbox combination is actually buttery smooth, and sometimes you would forget you're dealing with a diesel. Now fair enough, cold morning, first thing starting, yeah, you know you're a diesel, and around town you do. But when it's up and moving and flowing, you really don't notice it, and it is so buttery smooth and excellent. This is a great combination. It cruises at 100 and 120 kilometers an hour without any effort whatsoever, sits quietly, and is a great cruiser. Highly recommended. Clocking up the miles or kilometers is absolutely no issue whatsoever. Thanks to that sizable 400 newton meters of torque, it is unsurprisingly the mid-range where this engine really excels. There's a great punch behind it, and at times it feels like a performance car. Well, almost. Like, it really does have get up and go when you want it to. It just pulls so well. Really easy. Yeah, it's a nice engine. God, I do like a diesel. When a diesel's right, it's hard to beat. It's just got so much ready when you need it. Like, honestly, 0 to 100 is basically pointless for the most part. It's that mid-range where you do all your driving, and this thing is brilliant at it. 30 kilometers an hour, put the foot down, 80. That's where you live, that's where a car lives, that's where you need it, and this has it in spades. Lovely. Great engine. If you really want to control maybe those shifts a bit more, there is flappy paddles. I haven't really felt the need to use them, but you can like drop down cog 1, 2, 3, and it'll pull away and change, and we're doing 80, so I shall slow down again. Fuel economy has been mighty impressive too. I really can't complain. As I was saying earlier, I did 600 or 700 kilometers in it during the week, and we're seeing like 57 mpg, which I think is about 4.9 or 5 litres per 100 kilometers. And you'd really have to trouble the life out of the car to not get that. I honestly think you'd be safe getting well over 50 without any real hassle. Also, there is a nice little handy extra fitted to our car, a touring tank, or touring fuel tank is what it's called, and you get 8 extra litres in the tank, so 58 versus your standard 50. So over 1,000 kilometers to a tank, not outside the realms of possibility, which is always nice. I like that figure. When you're getting 4 figures from a tank, you know you're onto something good. I think that's where the electric cars maybe shock some people. You have a full set of bars, and if you're a diesel driver anyway, you have a full set of bars in fuel, and you're seeing 900, 1000, 1100 kilometers for your full tank, and then you go to an electric car, like say, I don't know, the Mini E, even the Zoe and the higher stuff, like you see a full set of bars and you're hoping for 300 or 400 kilometers. It jars the mind. Just, it's what we're used to, and we're just lazy, and that's what we're used to seeing. And that's not what we're getting with an EV. Anyway, moving on from EVs, we're in a diesel automatic. Now, if you are of a sensitive disposition, I will please ask you to cover your ears now, because you're about to hear something that might upset you. This is a coupe, this is a BMW, but it's front wheel drive.
Oh, won't somebody please think of the children?
No rear wheel drive here today, I'm sorry to say, but do you know what? It's not that bad. It actually handles quite well. It is really nimble and light on its feet. It has that feeling. So I'm sure there is some of the BMW DNA in there, because it is quite fun to drive. And I haven't been massively disappointed by the fact that it's not rear wheel drive. If you really want to upset it and push it too hard through a corner, you can feel it kind of hoping for grip. But like around there, that's tight, nice, easy, no real complaints. I'd never say it was not fun to drive. I've covered lots of miles in it, and it's actually quite fun. And even on the right stretch of road with the right conditions, it'll put a smile on your face. I know that sounds ridiculous, and someone will probably give out to me for the fact that a front wheel drive BMW will put with a 2-litre diesel and 8-speed automatic would put a smile on your face. But I'm telling you, it will. Don't discount it. This is a fun little car. It surprised me. It surprised me. I'll admit it. It did. I didn't expect to enjoy driving this as much as I have. So how do we come to some conclusion on the 2 Series Gran Coupe? Well, I don't know. That's basically it. I don't know that it's extraordinary, but I don't think I hate it. I thought I would. I thought those looks would put me off enough to hate it, but whatever about this combination of gearbox and engine really suits it. Drives quite well, can't really complain there, unless you're really pushing it. And to be honest, most people who buy this, I'd say, couldn't give a fiddler's about rear wheel drive, front wheel drive. Anyone who's going to buy it is because it's a bit different, it's kind of funky, and you don't see them everywhere. Please do like, subscribe, follow, subscribe, like, all those lovely things. Okay, we'll leave it there. Alright, okay, we'll leave it there. Okie dokie, bye bye. Especially, and it is and it cruises effortlessly. It cruises effortlessly. Shit. It cruises at 100, 120 effortlessly.